for life.
And we are back. It is Thursday, March 19th. Welcome to the Anti-Hero broadcast, the news and information for veterans, first responders, and all blue-collar Americans. This show is brought to you by HP-TRT. Go to HP-TRT.com. Use promo code HERO to save 20%. That's 20% every single month on your peptides, your DECA, your Anavar, and the most important thing, your testosterone. We don't need low T males. We need males that are optimal. Go to HP-TRT.com. Use code HERO for 15% off. And GhostBed. Go to ghostbed.com/antihero for 10% off your order. Free shipping. They have coolant patented technology sheets, pillow toppers, mattresses, all free shipping, all made right here, close to the United States, in the United States, and free shipping on those big old mattresses is super important. If you're going to replace something in the bedroom, start with the mattress first. Don't start with anything else. Go to ghostbed.com/antihero for 10% off and Elevated Silence. Go to elevatedsilence.com. Use code ANTIHERO15 for 15% off. You need a silencer in your life. Everything else is loud. The range is loud. It's nothing better than being on a range where everybody's got a can, 22 all the way up to 50 cal. Jim is the man. When I say the man, I don't say that because he pays us. I say that because I've met Jim. I've shot with Jim. He is an excellent dude. He'll walk you through the process to get a silencer for your weapon. So go to elevatedsilence.com. Use code ANTIHERO15 for 15% off. Peach in the house. You're ready for today, aren't you?
Yeah.
Are you? Don't forget to talk in the microphone. Don't look at me. I'm pretty enough as it is. What's up, Lewis?
I am good, thanks.
How was your week?
Stressful.
Stressful.
But I'm still here.
You're still here. You haven't quit on us yet. You ready to be back tonight for the show?
I am totally ready.
So don't forget Patreon. To join our Patreon, the fastest growing Patreon, all exclusive content, behind the scenes. We're live. We're posting pictures. Tyler almost bought me a DX shirt. That's a great skit that's in there this morning. So go to Anti-Hero Broadcast Patreon. Join us, please. And don't forget, tonight's show is on Counterculture YouTube. So if you haven't subscribed, go to Counterculture Inc. YouTube and subscribe so you can watch the night shift with the boys. You staying?
I might.
You might.
Sure.
We got Cece in the house tonight for night shift. We got Gator in the house tonight. We're going to have a good time. So don't forget to check that out. And is Trump going to put troops on the ground?
I think it's a high likely. I think the thing about it is what are we trying to do in Iran, right? Are we just bombing the hell out of them and then saying, hey, are you guys going to be done? Or are we looking for more operations within that bombs can't handle? So, I mean, what does it look like when we put thousands of troops on the ground?
Here's a little headline I got right here that says the White House has dispatched a Marine expedition. What is that word?
Expeditionary.
There you go. Unit of 20. Only Marines can read that. Of 2,500 troops to the waters of Iran, off Iran. But it is unlikely to launch a full-scale ground invasion with so few soldiers. As a Marine, what does that mean to you?
So that's just the MEU. So the MEU is basically going, or it could be a MAGTF, one of the two. So the MAGTF's the Marine Air Ground Task Force. I was on the MAGTF in Africa when we had that Tripoli whole thing. Not the what's that one movie? The one where they took over the embassy with the
13 hours.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was after that.
13 something.
Basically, it's a quick reaction force of mass. So basically, they can go from ship to shore. It's not like back in like Okinawa days when we're getting on the U-boats and pushing up onto an on a.
So you would think for us non-Marine normal people that don't have any idea, that's basically like a QRF in case something pops off and they need to respond immediately.
Yeah, in a sense, you have a whole MEU. So whether it's the 8th MEU, 9th, whatever it is, we have them all across the entire world. So the Marine Corps is really good at putting units and people in certain locations. Like there's a reason why we have, a base in Bali. We have a base in everywhere, but we're not pretty much allowed to. That's so if things hit the fan, we can move, not from the United States to there. We already have it, kind of push it in. And then I guarantee you the next people that are coming in rotation, because they're 7-month deployments, 6-7-month deployments, are getting ready to respond and so on and so forth. So there's never a lack in the world of having Marines in certain spots.
Okay.
But inside that ship, I mean, you have everything. It's not just grunts. You have motor T, you have a full sufficient invasion force. on one ship. It's pretty incredible. And then on top of that, you have surrounding that, you have your aircraft carriers, the full nine. I mean, it doesn't seem like on a picture where you have like all these ships rolling together. The MEU is just a ship that holds,
Yeah, obviously we have
25,000.
other ships with other people on board. Most of those are probably assigned as ships, but these are 2,500 Marines that can get off the boat and go on
and
land
a lot
if
of
need
it too is going to be supported from the ship itself. So I mean, you have a battalion size element, so that's going to be all the way from 3 companies of Marines plus your weapons company that will support everybody else. That goes scout snipers, heavy guns, the full nine, and then on top of that, you're attached to the MEU, which is you have some type of aircraft wing that's attached with it, logistics, the full nine. So they could do an initial invasion, I guess, and kind of go from there. But again, it really just depends on what's our angle, what are we trying to accomplish. And that statement that was just made, you can kind of see that as a threat, but to me, it's like, yeah, no shit, we have them there.
Yeah.
They're there all the time.
That's a headline grabber where let's say that Trump is putting troops on the ground or insinuating that Trump might put troops on the ground. That's something that's, I guess, normally in the area anyway of any type of operation.
That's hanging out. That MEU will be in that area no matter what. Even if we had nothing going on, they're there anyways, and they're just doing port calls. So they'll go to like Italy, they'll go to these different spots, and we just kind of saw it as like a vacation. We're going to go to Italy. Cool. We go to Italy for 4 or 5 days.
Well, obviously, we weren't at war if we're not at war, whatever we're at, you were going to those, there was no conflict going on when you were doing it. But now there's a conflict and you have that unit right there. Obviously that seems more strategic. They're not just hanging around.
No,
they didn't go there to like, this is their normal deployment.
Well, I mean, you got to think like and when we have the next guest on or 2 from now, I'll talk to him about it too. It doesn't matter whether a conflict's going on or not. And if you looked at between Desert Storm and going into, Afghanistan, Iraq area, nothing was really going on, but they were still doing MEUs. They were still doing all these deployments. And it's for this exact reason. Something pops off, we have somebody there. And again, we're strategically all around the United States. We have bases in Hawaii, California, the East Coast, West Coast, everything. Whether something is going on or not, we will have a mass force at any given time. I want to say it was Norway. There's like a big tunnel in Norway. And this tunnel in Norway has, thousands and thousands and thousands of armored vehicles, anything but pretty much planes, ammo, the full nine. So that in that spot region up there, we can really pull from there, put them on ships and take them to where we got to go. Because how do you think bombs and everything are getting to these ships? Yeah. It's a long distance. But everybody sees it as like a MEU is a bullshit deployment. And I know like when Jimmy was on, he's like, well, that's not a real deployment. No, it is, because when I was on my special purpose MAGTAF, we were in Italy. I was hanging out in Italy, going to Italy restaurants, full nine. And then we got a phone call one night when we got a call one night. It's like, hey, Tripoli's getting overran. We have to go. And we hopped on the Ospreys, and we landed, and dudes are trying to come over the walls into the compound. I'll find the picture. There's literally an ISIS flag in the water. We got all the ambassadors out. We got the ambassador out, all the delegates we could. We threw thermites into the embassy, all the classified materials, and we were just basic grunts. We were nobody special. But we were in that region. That was our spot. And I think from Italy to Tripoli, 1.5-hour flight, if that, we were back on, and we basically took all of them to the MEU, who was pulling up, took them all to the MEU, dropped them off, did our exchange, and then we went back to Air Station Sigonella.
So these guys are ready to roll.
Oh,
these guys are ready to roll. Okay,
yep.
They're there.
Well, even like on top of the ship, they'll set up ranges on top of the ship, and they'll shoot up on the ship. You have recon probably with you too. It's probably some MARSOC guys as well. You have all assets ready to go. So certain missions that pop off, and you'll have sometimes SEALs on the ship as well. You might not know, but they'll be there.
Now that makes it all better. Then
it makes it.
Golly, we got the boys on. We're gonna have CC on in a minute. I think he's setting up, getting ready, and we'll go into that more. I'm gonna read. You have all this conspiracy, the Tucker Carlson stuff we talked about last week. Did he possibly leak information to Iran? We have the Israel argument. Is Israel got us into this war? I'm gonna read something that President Trump put up here in a second. Pull it up. All right, for those at home, this is what President Trump posted yesterday. And I can't read it because my escape button's in the way. It says, Israel, out of anger of what has taken place in the Middle East, has violently lashed out at major facility known as South Pros gas field in Iran. As a relatively small section of the whole has been hit. The United States knew nothing about this particular attack, and the country of Qatar was in no way, shape, or form involved with it, nor did it have any idea what was going to happen. Unfortunately, Iran did not know this or any of the pertinent facts pertaining to the South Pars attack, and unjustifiably and unfairly attacked a portion of Qatar LNG's gas facility. No more attacks will be made by Israel. Interesting, because you have all the conspiracy coming out. You have all the anti-Israel people. We're probably going to go potato here in a minute talking about this, but now you have the president of the United States saying that Israel acted without his knowledge and did some things, and which led to a counterstrike against Qatar, I believe. And now that seems to start having a big conflict with Israel and the United States, is where we're over there. We have our assets over there. We have our men, and we're losing soldiers, and we're supposed to be helping our biggest alliance, our guys over there. And then they do something like this, which to me, that is like oil. They struck oil to like blow up oil reserves, and out of anger, because for the first time, I'm really seeing Iron Dome is getting smoked. There's missiles getting through, Israel's getting hit, and then they go do something without consulting the president, allegedly, and attack something that leads to an attack against Qatar, who's on the other side of the water, just chilling, hanging out, right? Just They don't want no smoke. So what do you think that says for our conspiracy people about the whole Israel United States thing? I
mean, the conspiracy with everybody who has conspiracy, we all have conspiracies, right? It depends on the level that you take it and the severity of it. The president can put whatever he wants up, and people can believe it or not. I don't know the truth. I couldn't tell you anything about it. I'm not a conspiracy type person. All I know is when you're starting to look at like attrition warfare, and you're starting to cause, I mean, we've done it in the past. We've put contractors in places that we are not allowed to go to, because when they're like Blackwater, right? So they go to certain places that we're not allowed. They're just hired guns. And then when they get captured or whatever it is, they're not saying that they're Americans. There's actually a script they have to go off. I'm not American. They kind of push it off that, so it's not held off on us. Every country does it. We have people, and this isn't top secret, it's pretty common knowledge, but we have people in every part of the world, Russia, China, you name it, kind of little cells, and they have them here with us. So I think the attack itself is it might be a type of move of like, all right, what are you going to do now? Is kind of like a show of, I wouldn't say force, but hey, this is what happened. We're just going to push it on these people and see what happens. I mean, who knows? It could have been an oopsie on us. You know what I mean? Like, I have no idea, but it's going to either push Trump to really, really far right, or he's going to keep doing what he's doing. It could just be a feint. If anybody knows what a feint is, it's when you kind of do something over here and I'm going to hit you over here. But who knows?
We got a super chat from Liz. When Lewis is ready, it says, can we just stay out of the Middle East, tired of losing American lives for countries who just blow themselves up? That's one way of looking at it.
I mean, if you look at the Middle East, we'll call it like the hoods here in the United States. Can we just stay out of the hoods and just let them all kill each other?
I get it. There's one more part of that Trump said. I want to make sure I don't miss anything.
And I think we're in the third month now.
We'll get to him in a second, but so I just, for all this conspiracy stuff, and we're people saying that we're caving to Israel, we're their puppet, we're doing everything we want, then they go bomb something that leads to another country getting involved. It just, the way this was sold, and I'm not against any of that, I'm just giving my the fact down the middle, was the way this was sold was to the American people was quick and in and out. We're gonna go bomb them, which never happens. They've said this for years. We're gonna go bomb them and we're gonna be done. And then we were there longer, and then we were there longer. And then Iran's been pretty accurate. They've been hitting some things that we didn't think they might be able to hit. They hit something. Now Israel kind of goes off on their own little side mission and does something, which leads to another country getting.
Like, do you think we're not going to find out?
Yeah, it's like obviously. And then it's like, where's that line where we go, okay, the American people can just default back to, how does this affect America?
Like, I don't think could we have just done what we did in Venezuela? Go in, capture, kill.
They killed the top people.
Send Rob.
Yeah, send Rob.
Send Rob.
I mean,
There's your answer. You send Rob in with his goons.
yeah.
He takes dude out. He makes another
No, we
book.
already took the
He
guys
makes
out.
millions of books and millions of dollars off books, and then we get it sued 10 years later.
We took their top people out, a lot of them,
Yeah.
and then we did it again, a lot of them. But without further, no, we're gonna hold him. Bring him in, Lewis. Bring him in. Yo, you're drinking on the job, man.
America.
Oh boy,
Oh, geez.
G Money, everybody, the most American person in the network. Unmute him.
Hey, man, I didn't know you were bringing me in so soon. I was getting fucking prepped.
You realize you're chugging beer on camera, right?
That wasn't beer, dude.
What is that?
It's Hulk Hogan's Real American beer, but it's near beer. If anyone asks, only the best.
Is it fucking O'Doul's?
No, he's over there drinking. That's 11:22 in the morning, and we bring on our contributor G Money, and he's pounding beers. That's if that doesn't say America, I don't know what does. G Money, what's the
What
word?
else are you gonna
man?
do in a van? What else am I gonna do in a van?
How many days are we on now? You've been in the van longer than Tyler was on the train at this point.
Yeah, a week. I started Wednesday night of last week, and here I am. What's it, Thursday?
It is Thursday.
Yeah, I'll be done
One-
Monday night at 7.
It's been 1 week since you and your friend, the U.S.
The
Marine Corps
communist?
vet. Yeah, your friend the communist had a little. The piss can's got to be out of control at this point, right?
Yeah.
With the fucking
where's that?
hand-
No, I don't need to see it. I don't need to see it. We're good. I'll take your word for it.
Little Golden Peak.
Oh God.
I look hydrated, right? That's a good color.
So,
Any doctors
what-
and nurses out there can tell me what that
how's
color is
the
supposed to do?
how's the beer flowing this morning?
It's fucking ice cold, dude. When it's 28 degrees out, I don't need a fridge, man.
Where's your
It's
hot
just
dog?
good to go. Coldest
No hot
beer in
dogs?
Philly.
How are you eating?
Yeah, no hot dogs today.
How are
Huh?
you eating?
He's got a
How
Coleman.
are you eating?
You have a Coleman grill in there, don't you? No, like how do you cook food?
He's not cooking.
I know,
Pop-
man.
Apparently, you're living on granola bars.
Granola
Park in
bars.
front of a 7-Eleven?
Yeah. No. Sometimes I'll sneak out to Dunkin' Donuts, getting everything bagel. You got to do what you got to do, man. Grind it.
What even
Like-
though we had a
like the digs?
minor set, what's that? Oh, I love it.
You like
And
the
I'm going to
digs,
ask you.
Dave?
I'm going to throw you a softball right here. Even though we had a minor setback in baseball the other night, is America still winning?
Dude, the 52nd state won. What are you talking about? A minor setback. We still fucking won, dude. What are you talking about? Venezuela is the 52nd state. We didn't lose. We won. We just keep
Well, I think
winning.
it was one of those
We
ones
don't
you
stop
invaded us. We
winning.
beat you in baseball.
Yeah,
You know
dude,
what I mean?
we fucking
We
beat
took your
Canada in
president.
hockey.
You won the game. We took your leader. So I
That's
think
right,
we'll win
dude.
that one all day.
Yeah, they're the 52nd state. That's a win for us. We can celebrate that. We had 2 home teams playing the other night. We beat Canada in hockey, in fucking curling. We won the fucking baseball game. What's next? Right? Summer Olympics coming in a couple years. We're going to take basketball. What else have we got to do? I think we won
We
a
got
whole
World
bunch of
Cup.
gold.
We got the World Cup next
Okay,
year.
Yeah.
World Cup. Dude, we don't stop winning. Donald Trump is the fucking man, and all we do is win, win, win on that motherfucker. He's initiating the Don Road doctrine now. About fucking time. You know, it's just the new Monroe doctrine. If you're not familiar with that, basically says keep out of the Western Hemisphere because it's United States territory only. And we got away from that in the early 2000s. China did about $10 billion in trade with South America. Oh, fuck. Did I lose you?
No, you're froze up.
Okay.
There we go. We're back.
Yeah, my fucking laptop decides to do an update 5 minutes before this is supposed to happen.
I can't believe. I mean, you're electro. What are you plugged into? Is the van running?
Oh, dude, you told me. I got a fucking router. I have a flat screen TV in here. I'm set. It's good stuff. So anyway, as I was saying, China did about $10 billion in trade in the early 2000s with South America. Just in 2020, they did $519 billion in trade with South America. That's a problem for us. Not only was it China, you have Russia arming Venezuela, Cuba, and Argentina, I believe. And then you also have Iran coming in and giving Venezuela drones and military technology software, which, listen, Iran sucks, but their drones are pretty fucking good. From what I understand, they back engineered our fucking drones. So that goes to show you why their drones are pretty kick ass, right?
We got a super chat real quick. Tyler sent in $5 for your phone bill to keep your internet service up.
Yo, just fucking cash app it to me. Right to my Cash App, motherfucker.
I got a reflection, and I
Right
want
to my
thank
Venmo.
you. I got to thank you. Patrick yesterday, man. Let's reflect on that guest you brought in. Tell us, for those that didn't watch yesterday.
Hold on.
I know
Let me finish my point.
Oh
right.
boy.
So
Oh boy.
you have all these the axis of evil, these foreign actors in our backyard setting up, and it was such a strategic move, especially with the war in Iran has been killing Americans since 1979. They are responsible for pretty much all the global terror, sponsoring them with the money that we funded through Barry Soetoro, which would be Barack Obama, and Joe Biden, right? So we're kicking ass. We're respected in the world. Trump is fucking punking all these European countries. Argentina just sent a fucking naval force to help us with the Strait of America. It's no longer the Strait of fucking Hormuz or whatever the fuck you call it. It's the Strait of America from now on. Just like it's the fucking Gulf of the USA or Gulf of America. Fuck everybody. Get on the fucking plane. I know this is probably white supremacy or right shit to do your own research, right? And educate yourself. These are talking points of white supremacy, allegedly, but go do it, people. You'll find out if you peel some layers back, there's a lot of good shit going on right now. All right, Pat Rosin.
America's back.
America's fucking back big time. Fucking big time. Let's go.
Bigger than ever. Like the double arch, the bacon double cheeseburger. Like, America's
we got
back.
CEOs eating fucking cheeseburgers on commercials
TV
now. Fucking
Yeah.
right.
We also have a dude eating a hot dog in a van.
Yeah,
So,
we
America.
had, and is it ironic that while we were taking over Iran, that McDonald's releases the biggest burger they've ever released?
That's right.
There's no irony there.
And listen, did Trump know new wars? This ain't a new fucking war. This is Trump ending what fucking Biden and Barry fucking created with funding, unfreezing Iran's assets. They have been funding global terror for the last 10 years. This is called an adult coming in and cleaning up the fucking room. Come on. Fucking educate yourself. Do some research.
Money makes you want to be a better American.
Man.
Right? It's more than one fucking layer, dude. Stop listening to CNN.
I think you should just get that. I think you should get that
memes.
shirt tattooed on you and just go shirtless with that fucking whole thing.
If I had a good body, I would never wear a shirt.
Let's talk Pat Brosnan. For those that didn't watch yesterday, I will say one of the I don't want to shit on everybody, but one of the best guys.
It's
one of the best
based.
guys. How did you meet Pat?
I worked for Pat, actually. We were both Fox News contributors. I ended up working for Pat in the security industry. He ended up selling his company, so I moved on past that. But we kept in touch. Pat's a great guy. He has an awesome story, man. He's a real OG cop from the 80s and 90s when real police work was going on. And you didn't even scratch the surface with that guy. He's got a lot of good stories, man.
Yeah. So Pat, for those who didn't watch, Pat Brosnan came on yesterday. He was like 14 years NYPD, real cop, like robbery unit. He helped Giuliani clean up fucking 42nd Street, all that disaster down there. I remember going there as a kid. It was absolutely out of control, like disgusting. They helped clean that up. Most cop, I get it, podcast, cop stories, they get kind of redundant. This guy's not redundant. This guy did the real work. So if there's ever going to be an episode you go back and watch yesterday's episode. He also will probably end up being a weekly contributor for law enforcement, politics. He's right on that fence of law enforcement, politics. He's in with Rudy Giuliani. He knows people. He's on Fox News. He has his own radio show, but a genuinely good guy, a guy that has, the way I look at it, a guy that has that much experience and that much success. I would look at us like we're just, a bunch of nobody, like we're just a bunch of clowns. This dude is like, forget about it. Come on in, opens the door, comes on the show, wants to help us out, but just a great guest with real life practical stories, not the war stories. Like, okay, buddy. Like, as soon as he starts talking, you're just like, you want to hear more. So yes, we only scratched the surface. That was brought to you by G Money. Yesterday's episode with Patrick, and he's absolutely going to stay on as a contributor. He's already reached back out, paid the phone bill, sending $4.99 more so Nick can get back on. But
my bad.
Easy, man.
I was looking good. I wanted to take a screenshot of myself for my dating profile. Accidentally turned the phone off.
Where can we find your what apps can we find your dating profile on?
Not Grindr, motherfuckers.
Okay, good. All right, I was just making sure. All right,
I
so
like that fucking fairy hatchet wound.
yeah, so Pat was on yesterday, talked about the real cop stuff, and that's like I said, I'm not easily impressed by cop stuff because I fall into that category. Like, we all signed up for a job. That's what we're supposed to do. We were going to miss the holidays. We were going to miss Christmas. We were going to miss all this stuff. We knew it going ahead. So, oh, poor me. I don't ever get into
We're
that.
not going to get paid overtime.
Yeah, we're not going to get paid overtime. We're going to have to work. But yeah, Pat was an amazing guest yesterday. So make sure you guys check that out. What else, G Money? What else is what's in the future for G Money? Where are we headed with the podcast? What's going on? Once you get out of the van, what's your, besides the shower, what's your next step?
I don't know, man. I'm kind of digging my look right now. I think I found the right length for my beard with the mustache. It's very George. What the hell's that guy's name? I want to have faith.
Clooney?
No, the fucking singer. Faith. I want to have faith.
Yeah, they do.
George Michaels.
Yeah, yeah.
I got the George Michaels.
Fucking
going.
homosexual.
Yeah. Well, I'm the straight George Michaels right now.
Why don't you just do the handlebars?
I'm digging it.
I think you do the handlebars just straight down.
Nah, that's a little too much. I don't think the chicks
But like,
dig it.
actually let it hang a little bit so you can actually get George Michael.
You know,
I want to get laid. I want to get laid.
You know, your friend's coming on right after you.
Yeah, I know. Well, that dude has he's got the handlebars in the back. You know what I mean? Them fucking ponytails when he's getting fucking banged in the ass.
I don't know if we're allowed to say that.
He said it.
Fuck him.
Yeah, I can't
I
say
said
that.
it. Fucking weak communist. Everything that's wrong with this country.
That's
They
it, huh?
created a whole bunch of fucking beta males. A lot of men walked away from their families. The nuclear family's gone. These men are being raised by women, and they're full of estrogen. They don't know how to handle their problems and issues anymore. Look at the inner city. How do they fight? They fight with guns. They're quick to anger because they don't have any men in their life to show them how to act like a real man. That's the fucking issue. That's the problem.
Oh, I got a video to kind of go right into that. Here, let's watch this video. Tell me what you think of this. This happened in Riviera Beach over about 2 days ago. This is the suspect in a case being arraigned. We'll get your take on it.
Every people in their head, they not making it back. My cousin, who was supposed to die, that dude that hit the floor, oh yeah, he died. A lot of people were shot in the head, sir, and woke back up right in front of my face. The people that were supposedly killed, they didn't die. Nobody died, obviously, right?
Well, one person did. You do have one count.
Nah, nobody died, sir. How can you put someone in jail that's fighting something that you can't see? When I was on the highway driving, it's 3 cars. What's the devil's number? 6, right? It's 3 cars that pop up. 1, 2, 3. I shot every one of the people.
He gave up on the map there.
Oh, let me talk. I can't talk to the judge, bro. I'm talking what I can see, what my heart needs.
So, for context, he killed 2 people, shot 4 more, and then drove down the road. I don't know where his math was going with that. 3 cars,
3,
6. But I believe the communists would call him a victim of somebody like you. You
No,
caused that.
absolutely. He's oppressed. He's a victim of white supremacy. I mean, it's as idiotic as that sounds. He actually said that. I love the fact when Tyler asked him about Muslims and Sharia law and how they treat their women like absolute garbage and items. The dude wouldn't answer the question and said, well, I like to check my own backyard first. And, you know, the patriarchy in America, all the talking points. He's great with talking points. He's full of them. Fucking nonsense. Yeah, it's our fault. White supremacy caused that fucking animal to go kill fucking people. And then, I don't understand what his, I guess he's trying to say, hey, I didn't kill all of them. They got back up. Some didn't die, so I'm good. Don't give them that much jail time. No harm.
That was actually at first appearance post Miranda. That was his lawyer standing next to him, and I don't know that his case is going to go very well.
He did himself no favors.
Insanity or something
with
like
the
that.
first appearance confession, right out of the rip. Didn't
is that in Florida?
That's Riviera Beach. That's just north of Palm Beach. It's a dump.
Yep.
Is it?
But
Yeah,
it's
he's done.
a dump because of you.
That's right.
It used to
That's
be
right.
beautiful until you white supremacists came in and took over and made it the crap it is now.
Now, you know, my family wasn't considered white because we were Italian. We were other. So, but we just got lumped into Italian, I guess, white people because we conformed.
No, I talked to a vet yesterday when I was out to dinner, and
Dog vet or a veteran?
no, like this dude was like World War II vet.
Okay.
And he was like, you know, like he was Italian, big Italian guy. He's like, yeah, like when I was in the war, this and that. And he like showed me, he's like, if you don't believe, like you showed me DD-214 in the full. I'm like, hey man, I'm not questioning anything. He's like, yeah, when Italians were in the service, they were seen as like blacks. And I didn't know that. They were seen as less. They were seen as, a different minority. They weren't seen as.
Well, they had slurs for Italians.
Yeah.
Like
and I had no idea about that. And he's like, yeah, we were get treated differently in boot camp. We got segregated in boot camp, the full 9. And I was like, damn, dude, like I had
especially the Italian campaign. They were not really looked upon. They're looked upon almost like the Japanese soldiers were.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, think about it. I mean, they're Italian. They're going to Italy, but they don't tell you how the Italians secured the waterfront and protected us from Nazi infiltrators in America. Not to mention invading Sicily and Italy. The mafia actually had a big hand in that with surveillance and with subterfuge and whatnot. So they had a big role in it, but it's really downplayed. You don't really hear that much of it.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah, but I don't know. You're not really complaining about it, are you? You looking for anything?
I'm not complaining, man.
You need any? Do you need any?
I don't want reparations. I don't want
No?
reparations, even though the largest mass lynching in this country was Italians. That's the reason why we have Columbus Day. It's kind of an appeasement. Well, here you go. Sorry, you're treated like shit, and we lynched you guys. Here's a holiday. Get over it.
They have a Black Pride month, don't they?
Yeah, well, we got a day, dude. We got Columbus
Today's
Day,
women's.
and they take that away.
This is Women's Month. What do you think about that? National Women's Month.
Is that why there's all these pictures on Facebook of women cops getting hired?
Yeah, we covered that last night on myself and Dominick Izzo covered that. I'm sure he'll talk about it today, but yeah, we
Tits
covered
on a bull.
we covered the 5'1", 100-pound generation of females that are being put out on patrol, and is the agency doing them a disservice by what's your take on that, by putting them out there?
Dude, I had a chick in the academy, 100 pounds, about 4'10". When we had to shoot shotguns, the instructor had to fucking stand behind her because it would blow her off her feet. It's ridiculous. And it's same. And then you had the instructors wanting to get their dick wet. We had to bench, I think, 110% of our body weight. Women had to bench 70% of their body weight. And the instructors, it was on a Smith machine, dude. So the instructors were basically fucking doing the bench for them. And that's, you're not going to save me if I'm fucking shot and you got to carry me out of a fucking house where I'm fighting some 6'5" fucking savage, who's messed the fuck out. You ain't going to do shit. I'm barely doing shit.
Yeah.
No, I think we've had some little things, cops at our agency, we worked together, and it was kind of like a spit in the face when, these people would pass FTO because they are maybe smart enough to do the job, probably smarter than me. But when it comes down to, okay, like we're going up to a crackhead at, 12th and US 1, and he's not going to go in handcuffs. So, and I look over and my zone partner is a 5'4", 80, 90 pound chick, maybe 100 pounds with their vest on and her gear all messed up. And I would love to pull the body cam of it too. We get into a fight with a guy, and I am more getting hit in the face by her gear that's flying all over the place than putting a guy in handcuffs. And she ended up standing up because her gun belt pretty much fell off, and I threw her gun belt out of the way so the guy can't get to it. And I basically did everything by myself. And it's a good angle because she stood up above me and watched me fight this guy. But you see it time and time again, over and over. And it's not just the videos that we're posting that you're seeing. It's literally anywhere you look, you'll see 3 or 4 males or 2 females get into a fight with a guy, and the minute the men step in, the women just back off, and then they grab the mic like they're going to do something.
I was down Center City last year, and I see this girl screaming, like, run towards me, and I seen this big tranny with a fucking stick try to hit her.
Tranny or trainee?
Tranny, transvestite.
Okay.
Right? Isn't that the correct term?
No, you're good.
No, you're good.
I thought you said trainee.
Yeah,
Like
so did
I thought you were talking trainee.
Transvestite.
Okay.
Right? So it walks down the street a little bit. Now 2 female cops try to arrest it, and they're getting their ass kicked. So I had to fucking jump in, make sure I gave the do not resist several times as I twisted her fucking arm, put her in the old-fashioned bent hand come along, and she went from ground and being tough to, my hands are behind my back, sir. My hands are behind my back. Yeah, I thought so. Put her fucking ass down quick. She was beating the shit out of those two cops. And it's just the time and time again. I had a job once where we get a call, me and my partner. My partner was a boxer. I think it was Golden Gloves. He's a bad dude, man, Diesel. And, we got a call. A guy just jumped off a roof. So we clicked and we're like, what do you mean a roof? They're like, from the 3rd story roof of a building in bare feet. He's running up Allegheny Avenue. And we look at each other like, what's he wearing? He's in boxers and that's it. And sure enough, I look over. I'm like, oh, there he is. We got him. He runs into an alleyway. Now me and Keith run in there with him, and he's all messed up. And it was a full-blown drag him out fight for about 20 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. Keith hit him with such an uppercut. His head snapped back. I thought he killed him. And the dude spit his teeth out and said, that's all you got, pussy? And then we just started fucking fighting again. Got to the point where we were able to get handcuffs on him. I'm maced. He's maced. Keith's maced. We're all beat the fuck up. And he's still fighting in cuffs, dude. I just said, Keith, you see the abandoned house there? He goes, yeah. I said, drag him there. I'm just going to shoot this motherfucker. I had enough. And he goes, oh, man. You don't need to do that. And that was it. He gave up. It was over. Fight was done. Walked him out. But if I didn't have Keith with me, I didn't have that dude with me, I was in a lot of trouble. If it was a female cop.
I have a video I just sent over to Mike. He'll play it. This guy, he thought he was Jesus Christ. Right. So he thought he was the man. Right. The guy kept calling us Mike. He thought we were Mike Dilks. Right. I don't know why. End up putting hands on a deputy. The deputy pushed him into me. And then I pretty much suplexed him back because he had a knife and everything behind him too. So
we'll get Nick, you want to come back on later? I got to get your friend in here.
Fuck him.
Because we're at 12. We'll get you back on after Dom's on. We'll watch that video.
All right.
And then check your messages real quick.
Okay.
And I'll bring in you want to leave just back out G Money and bring in
peace, bud.
Ryan. Good morning, my friend.
Good morning.
How are you? You good?
I'm doing my best in the conditions of late-stage capitalism and the sunset of the empire at the precipice of World War III, while it's forecasted to be 82 degrees in San Francisco in March today. I'm doing my best.
Is that
fucking capitalism, dude. How do you fucking think you get your money for your fucking
Nick, hold on. All right. I didn't mean to bring him back in. Jesus. I hit the wrong fucking button. Jesus. It's like he's like a pit bull of America that is like on a leash, and I gotta be careful with him. So
hey, let's not disparage pit bulls like that.
He's still waving back there. I don't know. He's going crazy. All right. So how are you this week? How was your week?
Asked and answered. Doing my best. Thank you.
And I'm being serious.
And wait, how are you?
I appreciate it. I am. I've been carrying the load of this capitalist of white supremacist show for a week now. So Tyler's gone. So it's been very. It's been a lot, but I'm well. I'm getting through it. But and I'm being funny. I'm not white supremacist, but I figured that was
thank you for clarifying.
No. I was trying to. That's the joke part of the show where I play off of what you said and then kind of go with whatever. I got a question completely off. Before I got my friend over here as a fellow Marine. You guys can talk Marine stuff. How has the experience been? Honestly, I'm not joking at all. As being a contributor and coming on and getting an opportunity to speak, and is it a positive thing? Do you think it's going positive, and is it going well, or are we pissing in the wind, or how do you feel about it?
Maybe too soon to tell. I think I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you so much for having these sort of under-discussed conversations, and we do have to sort of reach across the aisle, so to speak, if we are going to learn, grow, heal. So it's honestly, I have some fear every time I kind of click this little StreamYard link. I have no idea what's going to pop up.
That might be more because of inexperience. I think, and if you're still with us in 6 months, I think you're going to be fine. I think that's a little inexperience. I would think, but maybe I don't know. If I got invited on The View, I might be a little nervous. So maybe I can understand that.
Thank you for the empathy.
All right, I'm going to turn it over to my friend Pete. You guys were both Marines. I think he's got some questions for you. If you'd like to, answer them with him, you guys can kind of have some dialogue. So I will turn it over to my friend Peach.
What's up, bud?
Hi, Peach.
This reminds me
Peach?
of court.
Yep.
Love
Last
peaches. Are you from Georgia?
Yep. I am not. No, I am
Okay.
not. All right, so I'm going to make it real clear from the beginning. The questions I'm going to ask and things I want to know is just because it's my ignorance of where your stance is and kind of stuff like that. Like, we both wore the same uniform. We both deployed. I don't agree with the whole deployments aren't real. I think every deployment is real for certain reasons. So I'm not going to be like people in the past that are attacking you or anything like that. I respect your beliefs, everything, because that's why I did the things that I did overseas, right? So people like you can have, not people like you, but everybody has their own certain opinions and beliefs and religions, the full nine. Because if we didn't have that now, what did I serve for, right? So
Can I ask a question about that real quick?
Yes, sir.
What does my right to speak for myself have anything to do with what you did overseas?
What do you mean?
I think we sort of put on these like kind of propaganda sort of reasons for these deployments, that it's to serve the citizens or for these abstract ideas like freedom or democracy, when I think if we're being honest, it's for extraction of resources and destabilization of foreign governments. And I don't know if like these things are actually the same.
They go hand in hand. Okay, I agree. Okay. So I would say, would you be able to talk on this podcast right now if we were in China without repercussion? Would you be able to speak your tone and everything you had on any corner in China or Cuba, North Korea, any place like that?
Good question. And are you familiar with like the criminalization of dissent and Palantir and this bill that's going through Congress right now to put a ChatGPT FBI agent on each one of us? How does this like fit into your like freedom analysis?
Well, that's what I was asking, right? Would you be able to do on any country that I just named? Would you be able to be on any corner speaking your free thought? Would you be able to?
We have to find out.
You wouldn't. I promise.
Well, okay.
I promise you wouldn't.
There's this phrase about China I think we should be like kind of interested in, and it's about where in China you can't change. You okay? Sorry, bud.
Yeah, good.
Okay. In China you can't change the party, but you can change the policies. In the United States, you can change the party, but you can't change the policies.
Okay. But that's freedom. Is it not?
Where does Citizens United and like senators investing their portfolios in defense companies, where does all this fit into like your freedom analysis?
Well, I mean, I'm talking more simplicity, right? As an individual, one person, be able to walk out on any corner and say anything you want, whatever you want on any given sign. And yeah, you'll be judged like anybody else. We're all human. Everybody judges everybody. Anybody who says, I'm not judgmental, you're full of shit.
You can't say that word that ends in A, though.
What do you mean?
Or ER. You can't say those ones.
Sorry.
But any other words.
I apologize.
Okay.
And again, if I say anything offensive, man, I apologize. I don't.
No, I'm talking about the N words. I'm joking.
Oh, yeah. So
he's locked in right now.
No, I got you. But in general,
Marine versus commie right now. I got to let it unfold.
But just in general, if I do say anything offensive, it's not towards you. It's just
it's all good.
Maybe how I'm raised or my ignorance of certain things, right?
No
but
sweat.
my point, what I'm pointing at getting at, right, is the things that I did overseas is to prevent freedoms to be taken away. Now, whatever your freedom definition is, I have a certain one, right? I don't want to be like North Korea. I don't want to be like somebody telling me I have to be this way. I have to think this way. I have to be this party. I don't talk about, where my politics are because it's irrelevant. I talk on what I know. I don't really care about politics that much. I care about the things that I did, whether in right or indifferent. I did things over there that I don't agree with, but I had orders, and there's a reason, right? I'm not going to tell you no unless it's unmoral, unjustified, or it's outside of my realm where I can't handle. There's a lot of things I can't handle, right? Just like you, there's probably a lot of things you can't handle, but we are men enough to say, hey, I can't handle this. I need help, right? In North Korea and all these other places, for example, I know when I was deployed to South Korea, we went to the DMZ, and I think it was like a month or so before that, they had that North Korean soldier that tried to get over to South Korea and tried to run away. I don't know if you saw that video. They started shooting at him, and then we did a rescue mission and pulled him. That wouldn't happen here. You can go to Mexico. You can go to Canada. You can go to Italy. You can go to North Korea if you really want to. There are Americans who flew to North Korea, did documentaries secretly and everything too. You can't film. You can't have a camera crew. Everything is dictated, bad word or not, to show you exactly what you're able to see. There's certain websites you can't even look at in North Korea, right? You are the propaganda of this is what it is. This is what it will be. I think a good movie of it is what's that one with Seth Rogen and when they go to North Korea?
No idea.
You know what I'm talking about?
I don't watch a lot of movies.
Sure. Can I offer a reflection on what I've heard so far?
Yeah, of course.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, I think that the Blowback podcast helped me unlearn a lot of the propaganda we've been taught about Korea. For example, my grandfather was with Chesty Puller at the Chosin Reservoir, and they both should have stayed home.
Okay. I got you. But again, that's bigger than us, right? We put the uniform on. We did things that were bigger than us at the time. And I remember you said earlier, I might quote you wrong, but you said you joined at a younger age. I don't know if you want to say it. You probably remember it, where you weren't your mental stability wasn't up to par or something along those lines.
Sure. The human brain doesn't have the cognitive biological maturity until around 25 years old. So 100%. I'm unconvinced that we can provide informed consent to a life, kill, and death contract if our brains aren't fully developed yet.
Okay. So
I interject 1 second. I got a super chat. Capitalism at work. You don't have to answer these, Ryan, but one of them I would like to hear you answer. The second one you don't. What was your MOS?
Yes.
Can you answer that one?
My MOS was 4066, Small Computer Systems Specialist. I'm an ASVAB, DLAB, and EDPT Commando. And my disability rating is between me and the VA.
Understood.
Yeah.
Yep, understood. Okay. So you did computer work. What was it one more time so I can put it in my head?
4066, Small Computer Systems Specialist. Datacom, baby. You can talk about us, but you can't talk without us.
100%. And again, so anything that you do in the Marine Corps, whether you deployed to Bali, Japan, Italy, I had all those deployments as well, right? You are still contributing to something, the bigger picture, right? Whether you go to war or not. Okay. I think I was very fortunate, and you're not going to agree with this. I was very fortunate to go to war at a young age, to understand and realize, what taking a life is. And I know Mike said it before. He said, I believe I'm going to quote you wrong as well, but thank God you never had.
No, I'm glad I didn't kill anybody.
Yeah, I'm glad
Absolutely
glad
I didn't kill anybody.
So I'm not the type of person that boasts about things like this, but there was times where things had to happen, right? And I had to make a decision. But there was also times where I had the decision to make and I didn't have to, and I didn't, right? We had a tower that looked over a certain area, and if you were out past a certain time, you caught around because they were backlaying us with IEDs and a whole bunch of other things that right when we walked out of the wire, we would get blown up. So
what country was that in?
That was in Afghanistan.
Thank you.
Yeah. We were the last unit in that area. We kind of broke it down. And of course, as we were leaving, they started messing us up. So it seemed like they were pushing us out type thing. Now, were we supposed to be there? I'm not sure. That wasn't my point. That wasn't my reasoning. That wasn't the reason why I went. Okay. There's actually a really good picture. I wish I could have found it. It was a young boy looking at the Twin Towers on the TV falling. Right. And then the next picture it looks like it's in like Afghanistan or something in poppy fields. And on the back of his helmet, it says, "My whole life, I plan to kill you," or something along those lines, right? I remember the day the Twin Towers happened. Well, conspiracy, whatever happens, who said what, whatever it is. At that time, I put all of my anger and everything into that deployment. Okay. Good, right, bad, or indifferent. That's what happened. Again, I was not developed. I was not, who I am today. But what I can tell you, the positive thing out of me going on that deployment, it made me the leader who I am today. Okay. I have done some very incredible things in the Marine Corps. I picked up the rank of staff sergeant in 7 years, which in my job as an 03, you don't get into your 12, 13 years. And I was very, very fortunate to be put in certain spots. Got to instruct, got to do a whole bunch of really cool things, and I learned more about myself than anything else. Then going to be a cop, the full 9, and being able to talk to people and have that life experience. Just like you have life experience. You've seen things, you've brought that into what you have now. So my next question is, like, if you could pull up a picture of the name tapes for me. When did you lose this? Is my question. And it quotes on there, regardless of what I may have accomplished or experienced with the remainder of my life, nothing in this world even remotely compares to the feeling of
cut off.
I think it was something along the lines of my dad's name on my chest. When did you lose that? Is my question.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's a 10 years, that's a 10-year-old post. And
yes,
as human beings, we do grow, we do mature, our perspectives do change. I think there's been a lot that's happened in the last 10 years, right? Kind of realizing that WMDs in Iraq were nowhere to be found. OIF is the greatest fraud of the 21st century. Over 1 million Iraqis, innocent Iraqis, were slaughtered for the Zionist fraud of WMDs. OEF was a 20-year American heroin colony. And I'm sorry that, these sort of greater goods or causes bigger than ourselves were for the Epstein investors of the military industrial complex and these genocidal depraved Zionists, not for these abstract ideas of freedom or democracy. I think there are much better moral approaches to learning leadership skills than morally bankrupt invasions and occupations.
Okay.
Can I step in just one quick? And if you, and I know how you feel about the military, we've talked a lot. Why leave that picture up if you're so anti-government, anti-Marine Corps? And I know it's part of your life, and I get father's name and all that. But all that aside, I removed all my police pictures. I'm not a cop anymore, and I kind of have a different stance on things. Why, if you're, and I'm not obviously against policing, but why leave that up if you're so against the concept of war, military, and the Marine Corps' values and what they stand for now with your developed brand? Why would you leave that picture up?
Yeah, that's a good question. Before I joined the Marine Corps, I was probably a far right sort of individual. Okay. Yeah, believe it or not. When I got out of the military, I was a right-wing proud patriot. And then I went to, community college on the GI Bill, took a sociology class, and started to learn.
So
and I think
do you think as well, and I agree 100%, I appreciate you keeping the posts up because it shows, your development as a human, as a man, and again, I respect, communism, the full 9. I respect it.
Communism.
I respect his. I respect his view on it because the fact that that's yours. I can't tell you no, you're wrong.
Respect his view.
The
fact that his brain can make its own decisions.
Yeah, yeah. And again, I
don't want you clips saying you respect communism.
But at the same time,
the asshole in the middle was going to love to play that and show everybody that Peach loves communism.
Yeah,
so.
don't do that. I'm going to say this with the utmost respect. 100%.
Here comes something very disrespectful.
Nope. Nope, not at all. I thank you as an order to anybody who's ever deployed, and even yourself, because you said you only did these deployments, and somebody who's irrelevant now said those aren't real deployments. They were real deployments. You contributed to a bigger place, to a bigger thing. Whether you believe it now or you don't, I still have the ethos and the spirit of Corps in me, because it may be the man who I am today. If you still want to represent the Marine Corps to get whatever it is, I support it. You know why? Because that's the reason why I did it. So people like you, people like me can come onto these podcasts, come onto certain things and talk about different ideas and debate or whatever it is. And I guarantee you thought I was going to come on and I was going to bash you. That's not the case. Not the case.
That's the only reason I brought him.
Yeah.
He's getting sent out of here right after the show ends.
But at the same time, I guarantee you this is probably a lot better interview than your last one. You're not going to rattle me. It doesn't work like that. I'm still waiting on answers that I haven't gotten. Right. And that's the difference.
Well, it's hard to kind of like.
It's not hard. It's a very, very simple question. At what point at any country that I named can you go on any corner and speak your mind without being arrested, be out being tortured, be out putting in prison, work camps, everything? Because I'm telling you right now, I promise you, you go to North Korea and you sit on any corner and pull out any camera, you're immediately going to a work camp. Because it's happened. We have Americans that are still in captivity there now. They're working to get back because they were journalists.
Give him a second.
What do you think the conditions are for like working class people in South Korea these days? Have you seen Squid Games?
You know, it's not real. It's a TV show.
South Korea is an oligarchy, very similar to the United States, where a few families have the vast majority of the wealth. Working class conditions for South Koreans are like basically a late stage capitalist hellscape.
Have you been to South Korea?
Absolutely, 2 times. Okay. And I was supposed to go on 9/12/2001 also. I was active duty in Okinawa on 9/11.
Okay. Yeah, see, I was in Okinawa and everything too. And I worked alongside of the South Korean Army. And are you fucking kidding me right now?
Just keep going.
Okay. And you know, I might have been, so I'm talking about something else, not you.
Okay. He can see it too.
Okay, cool. So
you can see the toxic masculinity in the middle.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get a spot on here. I've been waiting for like 5 minutes.
All right, pause the whole show.
Hey, Tyler's my bro, can I ask one question for my Marine Corps comrade? Hey, brother, why do you think we are forced to learn about Smedley Butler and his 2 medals of honor, but the fact that he was an anti-imperialist and a socialist is omitted?
Because the fact that it doesn't matter what your color, race, religion, beliefs are, when you're put into a conflict and a point of, I have to help the people next to me or something bad's going to happen, he made a decision and it was a great one. And he came out on top.
In terms of not mattering what race we are, would you agree that the light green, dark green phenomenon in the Marine Corps benefits veterans of privilege? Because the Marine Corps is the absolute worst in terms of racial disparities in punishment and promotion.
I don't think that's true at all, because I had blacks on my dark Marines, on my panel.
On this show, you can say blacks.
Okay. Blacks on my panel, and I got beat by them. I got slaughtered by them because it doesn't come down to that.
All right, hold on.
Anecdotal experiences.
I gotta let the fucking boss here. He's over there pretending he's big and strong. Let Tyler get some words in.
I just have real quick. We kind of glazed over the whole. Mike gave you a pass with the whole. You don't have to answer the VA compensation thing. The correct answer should have been 0.
I hear nothing.
I take. You hear nothing? Hold on.
You can't hear it? We can all hear it.
Yeah, I can hear it.
All right, what he's saying is I gave you a pass on the VA question. Your answer should be 0 because you basically hate America. That's what he's saying.
I don't have
Can you hear me now?
Rating, and that's,
can you hear him? Can you hear Tyler?
Negative.
That's weird.
Oh man. All right. Well, yeah, Mike, just asking because I honestly feel like that should be a
I don't have a disability rating. Veterans' guilt for not experiencing combat is not a rateable sort of experience.
Okay, so it's 0. All right.
Okay, 0. Okay. So your answer is 0, but it's still between you and yourself, unless that's the honest answer.
Yeah, I'm a 0%er.
Okay.
All right. Respect. So that's it. I'm gonna get
Thanks,
back to
Alex.
my shoulder, Ravens. Go fuck yourselves.
Please work harder because you're not looking very big. Lewis said he's looking bigger this morning.
Golly.
All right, remove him, Lewis.
All right, so
All right. We got 0 minutes. You got about 30 seconds left to
last
make
thing
each other
is,
happy.
if I were to get a GoFundMe going right now, okay, and I were to get you pick anywhere in the world you want to go, but you have to stay there and you never come back, would you take that offer? Never
Let's
come
put
back.
the
You and
money.
your family, whoever you want to take with you, GoFundMe. I pay the full entire thing. You never come back to America. Would you do it?
Let's put the money on the table and see where
No, I
that
can't hear him.
goes.
Now our audio is fucked.
Hold on.
I'm sorry.
It's not you. It's the whole system. 1 second. Yard.
All right, speak now.
Good, Ryan.
I said, let's put the money on the table and see what happens then. Until then, I also believe that love it or leave it is lazy.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Ryan, thank you so
Thanks,
much
Ryan.
again for coming on. I appreciate it. Get some sleep next week before you come on. I'll be gone, so it's all out. You see, I'm the nicest one, so you'll have Tyler next week. I can't control what he does. I'll be on a cruise spending my capitalistic money. Take care, buddy. Hit the break, Lewis.
Thanks, Ryan.
Over a century ago in 1910, the Flexner Report, funded by John D. Rockefeller and the Carnegie Foundation, re-engineered medical education from a holistic, whole-body approach, which appropriately treated the body as an interconnected system, to a compartmentalized approach under the guise of specialized medicine. They shut down or consolidated medical schools, marginalized naturopathic, homeopathic, and chiropractic medicine, replacing them with symptom management and synthetic drugs. Allopathy is a marketing strategy rooted in fear and manipulated science. This philosophy carried into veterinary medicine, resulting in over-vaccination, unnecessary surgeries, and manufactured food, just like they did for people. They call it care, but it's predatory and based in profitability. The truth? Toxicity, compromised immunity, and chronic inflammation. They're not fate. They're engineered. And so is your power to undo them. We built 3 targeted formulas to return the body to homeostasis, for pets and people. To detox, defend, and restore. We are the correction to decades of corruption. We are vengeance.
And we're back. Yes. Yep. Don't forget to check out copvilleog.com. Use code ANTIHERO15 for 15% off the best clothing line in the counterculture anti-hero network. Get your war hats, get your shirts. Not this shirt, it comes from Tyler, but go to copvilleog.com. Use code ANTIHERO15 for 15% off. And Counterculture Inc. Threads.com, the second best clothing line in the network. Go to countercultureincthreads.com. Use code ANTIHERO to save 15% off. And don't forget, both codes, you get more off if you join Patreon. Support both networks. I assure you that they go to a good cause, like donations, paying for our live events, and all that cool stuff. So check out both networks for us. And without further ado, I bring everyone Dominick Izzo, my friend. And then we don't have any sound. Hold on.
That's because
we're good.
That's because my slider was off.
You look sharp today, dude.
I always look fucking sharp, man.
You do always look sharp.
It's to show
I'm waiting
you.
for the fucking shirt again, dude. The fucking jacked and tan, man.
Oh my god, dude. That's fucking Mike saying. I can't remember. Mike.
Yeah, Mike, the Jersey Shore guy.
No, yeah,
Right?
my yeah. But I'm
The
not
situation?
Yeah, something like I don't know. Tan, sure as hell. No, it's Chicago out here. No tan. Jacked.
Freezing. What's the temp outside?
36, but it feels like it's 22. It's supposed to be high at 59.
Nah, keep that.
So,
Yeah.
talk to me.
What do you want to know, dude? So dog eat dog world, and I'm wearing milk bone underwear. Come on, nothing's new in the
So we always
world.
talk about cops. Peach is a huge fan of yours over here, sitting next to me. He wants to say hello.
Dominic, what's going on, sir?
Thanks,
With
man.
There you go.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
Huge fan. So Dominic, we were talking. We always talk cop stuff. What is your take on?
I'm so uncomfortable when you call me Dominic now. Fucking bothers me.
I warned him beforehand that he has to call you Dominic.
Yes.
So. All right, I'll call you whatever you want.
There's
Dominic.
a difference. It's my friends get to call me Dom.
Okay, so I'll consider
Yes.
myself a friend. All right.
Fuck that, dude.
So Dominic, what is your? So we talk about cop stuff. We'll leave that out. We beat that up last night. What's your take on this? Israel, United States, Iran. What is your?
I don't
views
have
on
a
that?
fucking dog or pony show on the
I know you
planet.
don't.
I am America first and only. I don't give a
Okay.
shit. I'm tired of being the world's police.
Okay.
I went down the rabbit hole when now I have zero military experience. My only regret in life was never becoming a Marine. And there was 2 reasons I didn't. Number one, I wore glasses back, contacts and glasses when I was a kid, and I was terrified to wear those big Coke bottle fucking glasses. And back then, you couldn't pay me. I couldn't shit.
Birth control glasses.
Oh my god, I didn't have a problem with that, man. Fucking women wouldn't touch me for shit, anyways. I was such a fucking nerd, and I couldn't shit in a bathroom that didn't have stall doors or didn't no doors. Now, oh my god, fucking, I don't give a shit, whatever. Right in the middle of Times Square.
The whole flying thing would have probably been a problem too if they tried to send you overseas.
I don't think I was that big of a pussy back then. I don't think
Okay.
it was till later on. I think my fear of heights came from a stupid thing. I got in a fight with a guy in the middle of winter on a second story apartment A-frame roof, and it was like slippery and shit. And when I looked down, because my partner's down there, I'm like, how the fuck did I think that's when they kind of kicked in. It was kind of like a dumb. It was like Indiana Jones and the Snakes. That was all. No, I went down the rabbit hole in was October 7th. Was it 3 years ago? Was that when it happened? When Israel was attacked?
Yes.
2 or 3.
It was October 7th. I don't remember the exact year, but yes.
And I was like everyone else, where I didn't understand or looked at this Jew hatred. And I was online looking left and right. And at the time, I knew somewhat personally Stu Peters. I was on the same network as he was, that he fucked us all over on before ditching everybody. And I watched him.
Jewish? He's Jewish?
Stu Peters? No.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Stu Peters is a bail bondsman, rapper, podcaster who reinvented himself into like one of the most right-wing extremist anti-Jewish people on the planet. And I couldn't believe. I was raised Catholic and I'm a Christ follower. I'm Christian. And I was like, dude, you can't. Oh my God, what? These are God's chosen people. And then I started asking questions. And you go down that whole route. You can't ask questions worth shit. Initially, my statement was when it comes to, because you can't pinpoint it, right? Are the Jews a people? Are they an ideology? Are they a culture? Are they a religion? And the answer is yes, for whatever purpose they want. I went down the whole aspect of, all right, I don't support a people who think that my Lord and Savior is burning in a vat of urine and feces and semen in hell, and they don't support him. So, okay, as far as the Jewish faith and religion, no, I don't support them, is what it is. But then you have Israel, the government. I never paid attention to what's going on until, I started to look at all these politicians who are Israel first. You got Ted Cruz, who he went to Congress specifically to be the most pro-Israel congressman in the what? Or who was it? Brian Mast, was that him, who wore an Israeli military uniform in our government? When I started to see things like that, it's an instant knee-jerk reaction of, fuck no, I do not support any other country that infiltrates its way into our nation. And that goes for Palestine as well, too, because I wasn't a fan of Rashida Tlaib or anybody else standing up in Congress making all their shit about Palestine. So, to be honest, I'm at a point where I think a lot of Americans are. I don't care if Israel gets wiped off the fucking globe, if Palestine does, if Iraq does. I don't care. They don't affect me in my daily life when I step outside in the northwest suburbs of Chicago. And until I find out that they do somehow, I'm not going to care.
Well, and I think you make a very interesting point there is if we're cool with somebody, it's okay to wear their military uniform or their flag around. If we're not cool with them, let's say like, we have this issue with the Minnesota, Somalia, that's not cool. And for right reasons. Somalia, horrible things to Americans. But if we're cool with them, it's like, oh, well, we'll let that flag in. That flag can come in. But then you got the blue, America, the flag. We can't do anything but America. But it seems like, but Israel's okay. We'll let that flag in. We'll let, Ukraine became a huge thing. Everybody's wearing Ukraine flags everywhere around. But it's like selective enforcement, right? Like all of a sudden those ones are okay, but nothing else is. But then on the other side of the mouth, they say, America, 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 America. It's only America. So it's a very strange.
Somebody wore a Hugo-esque Boss type of uniform in Congress.
Yeah, it would probably not go over well. Yeah. So it's like, if we're cool with them, it's okay.
Are we
if
cool?
We're not cool with them, like with Israel?
Yeah. I don't. I'm not. I got out of the politics a couple of years ago. I'm tired of it.
I mean, what is this? Did you see the Tucker Carlson situation?
I watched the Tucker Carlson interview. I watched him interview Ted Cruz and Mike Huckabee.
No, recently. Did you hear what happened with Ted? You're so out of the loop. What happened was what the allegations are is Tucker Carlson was in the White House the end of February, and they actually gave him information on purpose, and they're alleging that Tucker Carlson leaked it back to Iran. He's anti-Israel. He's huge against Israel. And then he made a video last week saying, I might be arrested by the CIA because I leaked. That's also, who's the guy that just resigned, Kent? Yeah, that's counterterrorism guy resigns. All of a sudden, he's like, I can't get behind President Trump. And then all of a sudden, he's got maybe issues coming as well. So these guys, it's hot in the topic that half these guys go, Israel is not our ally, and then everybody, Israel ally. So it kind of falls.
If that's the case, you guys talked about it a couple weeks ago, or maybe it was last week. I don't know what it was, when you talked about Tyler was talking about Satan runs the earth and all this stuff. You can't have, they're not discussions you can't have together. It doesn't make any sense on some tiny little nation having the ball sack of America just tied around the strings, unless you're going to attach that comment to it. And to be honest, I think that's, if we go down that rabbit hole, yeah, I think it's completely the synagogue of Satan. It's whole the way that what was I watching last night? We went down the YouTube wormhole, and all these AI, revelation movies are popping up on YouTube now. And I'm like, I'm gonna check a couple out, see how many are biblically accurate and this kind of that shit. And I'm going, well, wait a second. Man, we need world conflicts to happen in order to usher in the Antichrist, who's going to come and usher in peace. So how do we know that fucking Israel's not getting us involved in another war? It's going to be the war of all wars. So the Antichrist can come over and go, I've got your solution.
That's what I talked about this morning was Israel attacked a part of Iran that Trump came out and said they weren't supposed to do that. We didn't know they were going to do that. Now these are supposed to be our ally. We're over there, we're together. That led to Iran then attacking Qatar, and Qatar's on the outside going, wait a second. So Trump comes out and says, I didn't want this to happen. They didn't tell me. And that starts to lend me to the issue of everybody, but one side of the aisle, Israel's our, we have to support Israel. So part of Americans say that. But then Israel does something that leads to an issue. And it's like, even Trump kind of glazes over. Like, if it was anybody else, fuck these guys, Trump would be off the rocker about, throwing his balls around. Here he kind of tiptoes. Well, I didn't think they would do that. I didn't want to, it's just a bizarre situation. I think we'll never really get an answer to.
I think everybody already knows the answer.
Yeah, they own. I think they own the four major news network or four major TV networks are owned by.
What is it? It's Occam's razor theory. Like all things being equal, the simplest answer is the truest. So if that's the case, then how hard? I was interviewed for Vice News years ago, the whole QAnon phenomenon. They took like two hours and 5 minutes of an interview with me, and they melted it down into 4 minutes and made me look like the biggest fucking transphobic racist on the planet. And they're kind of accurate. And I looked at, and one of the statements I made was I was hoping that all the things about QAnon and adrenochrome and all this shit were real, because if that's the case, then it proves that people are worshiping Satan, and therefore that proves Satan exists. And if you prove Satan exists, then by default, you have to 100% acknowledge Jesus Christ is Lord and Savior. That's it. So there's a part of me on this where it's like, let this shit fucking happen. Because the simplest answer is, if we're getting into these ridiculous wars and there's child sex pedophilia all over the place, that literally then means it's satanic. It's satanic. Everyone wants to say it's satanic, but nobody wants to say it's Satan running shit. It's Satan running shit. It's the simplest answer on the planet. And I guess when you hit that level of like, oh, that's it. You find like a comfort in it and go, I got faith and everything else works out, so I don't give a shit.
Yeah, and that's obviously what I mean. In the Bible, the really bad thing has to happen for him to come back and fix it. And if you're looking around right now, it's not looking very good. Like things are looking like we're headed that way. But if somebody like you that has faith, then you know this is part of what's supposed to happen, and you feel.
Oh God, I just don't want to. I'm the only thing that really bothers me is there's no proof of the rapture in the Bible. So like, I don't want to be stung by one of those fucking horse-sized scorpions, because it says like you get stung by them and it's like you're gonna wish for death, but death is not gonna come out. I'm like, fuck that, man. I don't like pain as is.
So do you believe when it comes down to this whole ordeal and talking about the devil and everything too, do you believe maybe some people see us, or let's make it simplicity, like Trump being the devil, since this is kind of pushed on him and his start of everything?
No,
whatever falls after.
No, I think Hollywood did the greatest thing in the world when it comes down to deception, so that we wouldn't recognize Satan when he decides to appear or whatever. The devil's always portrayed as the rough version of Barack Obama, or red and horns and all this shit. And biblically, anybody knows that Lucifer, Satan, is the most beautiful creature ever created in the history of history. And I think what they did was, when it comes to creating these demons, how they look, and all these devils and shit, you're getting the negative side of it, so that we would associate ugliness and the dregs of the earth as something to avoid, so that when the devil finally shows up and he is like John F. Kennedy Jr., gorgeousness, handsome, androgynous, and we're like, what the fuck is this? And we go gravitating towards that, we won't be afraid of him. So no, I think that everything like that you're describing is the knee-jerk reaction to kind of what's that saying again? It's like the greatest trick the devil pulled is convincing the world he doesn't exist. Well, yeah, when you got his pawns out there all taking credit for his shit, he's laughing behind the scenes going, oh, they don't know it's me yet.
Yeah, I was gonna drop a marriage joke in there, but I don't want to get beat up later. So she's got a big butt. Devil's got a big butt and some high heels and some other things, right?
She's the devil.
The devil has to be a female. It has to. Well, and then the other topic we've been on, obviously you're on the female. It's Happy Women's Month, and we've been beating out with a dead horse. Anything new? Anything new since last night?
I no, and God, I don't. It's everybody thinks I'm, a misogynist, and clearly, I guess I am, or anti-female, and I'm not. I don't believe. I do believe that it's a man's job to keep females safe. I mean, men were created, especially as husbands, to be protectors and providers. I mean, that's literally our role in life. And females have done such a good job to leverage their snatch to pussify men, and men just, that's how I lived all my 20s, 30s, and up until mid 40s, right? Females could do no wrong. I think that it's just
still there.
Yeah, it's a counter correction of the role we dropped as men to protect women. And I don't apologize for my approach that no, women shouldn't be fucking cops. Women shouldn't be this. Women shouldn't be that. Because clearly you didn't listen to the tough love that we said and said, hey, I love you and I don't want you to get hurt in this. Now it's, you don't fucking belong. It's like, you ever see Harry and the Hendersons?
Oh yeah.
At the end where he's trying to get rid of Harry and he won't go and he won't go and he won't. So finally he punches him in the face. Get out of here. I don't want you. Nobody wants you here. Same shit. And he's crying as he's doing it. That was a great move, by the way. It's like, that's the same thing. If I have to be the loud, misogynist asshole and butterfly effect down the road, some broad in Ohio who's 4'11" decides, well, I'm not going to go be a cop because, Izzo's going to put me up on his Facebook after my department posts it. And that saves her from being shot in the line of duty or shooting and killing somebody who maybe just required a firm handshake. Then I don't give a fuck. Simple as that.
So what do you think it's going to take for, say, this movement to hit command staffs and the admin? Is it going to take multiple women dying to,
No, there's only one.
I agree 100% what you're saying. I'm not questioning anything. I'm just, I see it day in and day out, and I have experienced it myself. And it's nobody's getting the hint, and they're just failing after failing after failing. But because this whole 30 by 30, that just seems to be the agenda, and not let's save lives and prevent lives from being taken by not hiring this person.
There's a solution, and the solution can't happen, right? And that's the current guys who are on stepping up and fighting. And command staff is powerless. The second the rank and file sits there and says, no, we're not, this is unlawful, or whatever the case would be, or it's dangerous or safe, but you can't, right? When I went after my department and I stood up for what I wanted, what I believed in, it was easy. It was easy to, hey, resign or we're going to fire you. Fuck you, fire me. It was easy to have no paycheck on the planet because I was responsible for me and me alone. How they get you? No man will step up. They'll slide in Mike's DMs. They'll slide in my DMs. If you talk about this, they'll slide in yours. Yeah, brother, you're saying what we all want to. I don't have an ounce of fucking respect for you. You know that this girl coming on cannot pass FTO. She's a danger, but you're not going to say shit, because then they're going to put a target on your back. And then now you're the one who had 3 kids, a mortgage, 2, 3 cars, all this stuff. And the second they fire you from your job, they're going to take your paycheck and your identity. What are you going to do? That's how they keep this system going. Is you do
I always know that, because whenever I post a knock on women, like I did yesterday, it gets half the likes that it does shares, because everybody shares it. Well, they don't want to be seen liking it. So
it's funny you say that too, because when JoJo was my sergeant, we had it wasn't a female. I don't think we had anybody females in that squad besides JoJo, but there was a very, very weak male that we had. I'm talking like 80 pounds. I'm gonna drop his name. I don't care. Wimmers. Remember Wimmers? Mm-hmm. Yep. So we had a problem with this kid basically over and over. He was my zone partner. JoJo was like, hey, I need you to like guide this kid. I don't know how he made it through FTO. Okay. So I was basically letting him know, hey man, I'm just giving you a heads up. I'm watching you. It's not a surprise. I'm not sneaking behind anybody's back. Anything you do wrong with me is going to be documented, because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to protect myself. I'm going to go home. Eventually got to a point to where I just used the sergeant. Everybody thinks you have to go to full command staff to get things done. I just used the sergeant, like, hey, this is what happened. You might want to look at this body cam. We went to a death investigation. He didn't touch the body. He didn't do what we were supposed to by procedures. We got into a handcuff situation fight with this one guy. He basically backed off completely and let me fight this guy alone. End up getting put, I think got put to like dispatch, and then end up leaving. But like, that's all it took was, hey, I don't feel comfortable with this person next to me. And the good command would be like, all right, well, show me why you don't. All right, well, let body cam prove itself.
And that's the right way to do it. And I think Dominic and I agree. You do that to a female, and the fucking place is getting their pantsuit off.
You can't do it to a male. You can't do it.
It's hard to do it to a male. It's very difficult.
It was the key word you just said. Good command. How many good commands are out there?
Very few.
Well, even under that command was terrible. But I had somebody, I would say, I mean, I don't know the situation now, but at the time had a little, wouldn't say pull, but she was in a spot to where people, there was trust. There was, anything she said was gospel. It was a good environment until everything just started going the wrong way. But if I were to say it to captain, nobody cares, right? So I just use my chain of command and be like, hey, here's the proof, here's the evidence. This isn't working. This is a liability.
And that's where there should be some type of oversight board. That it's hard to, in a perfect world, you just elect Dominic and I as sheriff and under sheriff, and we get it all done. Yeah. In the non-perfect world, there has to be some level of oversight with somebody with power to say, I made this clear, like somebody that can't get fired, somebody that's protected to say, we've had 33 complaints on this officer. Hey, sheriff or chief, he's got to go. Like, there's no way around it. And I'm not talking like a civilian oversight board. The problem with this whole story is there's still human influence. There's dudes that do it for the wrong reason. Like, it's a very hard slope to get down because you have the human factor of ill intentions that goes throughout this. So it would take like a group of people that you really could trust to say, we're going to have direct line to a command staff and say, this person has been recommended multiple times. Like, he's got to go or she's got to go. And it's just a massive problem that I don't know how you fix it, but that would be a start to me, would be some type of board oversight that's in the agency that you can trust. And that almost like a Supreme Court, even though they can be jaded, some type of reliable group of people. I don't know how you get there though. It's just a problem.
We even had females we had a female that had an OnlyFans.
That's normal.
And it got leaked and it became a thing. And we're like, how do we work with this chick? Like, this
Subscribe.
The civilian, the civilian populace, they're gonna see this, and when she rolls up to the door, their first question is gonna be like, "Can I get a picture?" Not, what is your problem? And
hey, your butthole was just perfect the other day.
That's the problem people are having. That's the problem that people are having. Look at our favorite guy from Casper or Parachute. I keep saying fucking Casper. Parachute, Wyoming.
Yeah,
okay, what happens the day he shows up to a scene and, oh my God, can you dance for me? Can you twirl for me? It did backfire. Like I said, back when we first started the whole social media shit, that was the biggest fucking ego feed on the planet. Oh my God, I follow you on Facebook, man. I went from 5'7" to 6'5". Just because you said that. And my ego, holy shit, there's an insane.
I dealt with it. I was a TikTok cop, dude. I remember walking up to calls and they're like, "Hey, I'm like, God damn."
I got it from the On Patrol Live stuff.
Yeah,
all the time.
All right, Dominic, we appreciate it so much. Tell everybody where they can find you.
Wait, I got a question. Who's sheriff and who's sheriff and who's under sheriff?
You can be sheriff. I'll be the
No, fuck no, dude. I have to be number 2 because I'm the fucking heavy.
Okay, all right.
I can see you being heavy.
Yeah, but I'm gonna let the guys rip black females out of cars that don't.
I don't give a shit. But like, fuck, I'm the asshole.
Bigger question: who's top? Who's bottom?
Oh, that's fine. I top all day long, motherfucker.
All right. Dominic, we appreciate
Live.
it.
We're Friday and Tuesdays live at 8 p.m. Eastern. Cop Talk Live over on YouTube. See you guys.
Take care, buddy. Yes, sir.
See you, bud.
Bye. Before we bring anybody else on, I just want to confirm with Ja that Air Assault School is the coolest and most grueling 3 weeks that anybody could ever experience. If you ever get a chance to go to Air Assault School, don't pass it up. That badge looks the coolest in the Tower of Power by far.
Yeah.
Cece, you ready? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready. Hold on. Is he ready? Hit it. Yo.
What's going on, boys?
What's going on?
Chilling like a villain, baby.
All right. You need a video on anti. Let me get to the anti here. You're making things difficult.
I sent it to you on Copville too.
Oh. All right.
I figured one of them had to be open on your phone.
This is the one you want with the guy that starts out the weaker thing. I'm gonna download it and then put it so it doesn't have to be on you. I'm gonna download it and upload it, all that cool stuff. Gotcha. What's the update, man? Before we play that video, what are we doing? Where are we at?
All right. So right now, I'm tracking yesterday. MacDill Air Force Base shut down. That is the home of CENTCOM for a suspicious package. So that's something that's interesting because this keeps happening. So very odd, something to keep our eyes out on because as you know, we're not going to find out about this if it is real. But after the third time, one has to assume like, is there more to this story?
You think UPS is just getting lazy? Just like dropping the package now? Like, just Amazon, they take the picture midair.
What do you take about the like we talked about at the beginning before you're still dreaming of us? What do you think about the Marines being placed over there? He was kind of going over that unit. What is your take on the Marines being right off the coast now?
I mean, we covered this last week before it even happened. Before everybody started talking about them deploying over there, there's a lot of units spinning up right now, and it's going to be more people in the area. CENTCOM is sending a lot of people over there. I think it's just like Peaches was saying earlier. There are people who are there through routine. They were supposed to be there. It's already scheduled, blah, 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 blah. What we really need to look at, and this is my take, is when reserve units start getting pushed up, that to me is an indication that we're ready to be hands-on. It's like when you're a cop and somebody tenses up that right leg, you already know it's game time.
It depends. How many times you hit him depends on some other factors.
His color is similar to mine.
Oh.
You said it, not us.
Sir, please, you're good. You can take off, sir. I apologize. I got that video ready. You want to play a video?
Run it.
All right.
Kamala Harris.
Is audio on?
Iran is weaker.
Yeah.
Why isn't it losing? Everyone keeps saying Iran is getting hit. So then why does it still hit back? You're analyzing the wrong battlefield. This isn't a strong versus weak war. It's centralized versus decentralized power. Most armies are built like this. Kill the leaders leads to system collapses. Iran built the opposite. No center, no single failure point, no clean victory. Even if you destroy command, Local units still operate. Proxies still attack. Missiles still launch. That's not strength. That's design. Now look at the cost gain. A $10,000 drone forces a $1 million interception. They're not trying to win battles. They're trying to make war too expensive to continue. And then comes the real leverage. 20% of global oil flows near Iran. They don't need a clear victory, just enough disruption to unsettle the system. Oil spikes, markets panic. Pressure shifts from battlefield to global economy. So what are you actually seeing? Not dominance, not victory. It survives impact and spreads the pain. And that's much harder to defeat. Because how do you win against something that doesn't need to win?
Interesting.
Perfect.
Interesting.
I figured
that's
the
what
visual would
that's
really
what
help
we're-
everybody.
that's what we're seeing right now. In your opinion,
Yes.
that's what we're seeing.
So attrition warfare.
Yes,
That's
and
what
I
it's
would
coming down to.
I would definitely say too, just for the people who are still a little confused on this, it's the same thing as crypto versus banks. It's decentralized. It's not one point, it's not one person, it's a group, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that's what we're up against, and that's what makes this so difficult, because it's just like you were talking about earlier. You can have Marines in this place, you can have Marines in that place, but it's a multi-level battlefront that's all around. I mean, look at what they just did to Qatar last night. That's 85% of Qatar's revenue that they're actually making profit off of on. And they just smoked them overnight.
So we're thinking as Americans, or even like top end, that we are going to just annihilate them with bombs, force,
possible.
the whole nine. It's not going to happen.
It's
If
not
you look at
possible.
Afghanistan, if you look at Iraq, if you look at any other country, what is the main topic that you're trying to fight? Religion.
Religion. Yep.
Think about it.
It's an
If you
ideology.
kill one- you kill that top dude. They already have 19 other ones ready to go who are going to
Ready.
be the same exact mindset.
Ready.
Everything.
Yep.
You can't kill a religion. You can't.
No.
It's been tried. Hitler tried to do it. It didn't work, right? He thought like these people are evil, whatever it is. Let's just annihilate them. Well, guess what?
Uh-oh.
We are X amount of years later. They're still here. We can
Mhm.
wipe out the Middle East 100%.
Mhm.
And guess what? People are going to pop up in America that have
They're
the
still
same
in the
beliefs,
UK
everything,
too.
right? Yep.
Yep.
But even looking like this, if you looked at it's crazy to me that these purple haired idiots in the United States protest about Iran war and all these different things. And then you have people that are from Iran that live in the United States that are waving American flags, like thank you for liberating and all these different things.
Yep.
But we're not looking at the long-term attrition. And everybody's like, oh, we're going to be in here for 48 hours. We're going to get out of here. No, we're already on the third week. How much money has been spent? How much we are being affected? Just gas alone. Like it took,
Gas is at $4 today.
Yeah. Diesel $5.30. I drive a diesel truck. Like it's getting expensive. So diesel, or when it comes down to attrition warfare, they are killing it 100%. If we want to knock out a certain thing, you have to take all the resources to where you are actually suffocating them to where they cannot survive. They're doing it with our money. And we're going to keep printing money. And guess what? Our dollar is going to be worth nothing across the entire world.
And the only way for us to even do what we're trying to accomplish, because right now, as of fucking 2 minutes ago when I looked, there are 7 countries that are even willing to join us in the Strait of Hormuz to secure it. So first off, what's NATO for? Because only 7 countries are willing to do it. And second off, like I said, boots on ground. And we've been talking about this on Anti-Hero for 3 weeks now. Boots on ground is the only way you're going to secure the Strait. Boots on ground is the only way you're going to secure the uranium that we have somewhere under a facility in God knows what mountain in Iran. And the list just keeps going on, so on and so forth. The only way that you could even take control of these places is by having boots on the ground. And that's what the ramp up has been for.
What exactly does that look like? Right? Like I've never did an invasion. I was never granted the opportunity. I wish I did, but what does that look like coming from a MU standpoint, right? So the MU is the Marine Expeditionary Unit coming from ship to shore, securing. I know we were talking about a while ago, Pacific campaign and everything, and seizing these small and China started doing it as well, and building islands to be able to work their way closer to
Taiwan, etc.
Exactly, right?
They literally
what do
built
we
an
wanna
island.
do? Exactly. They built an entire island airstrip, the full nine, and there's really you can hear it. They're talking like, you are now in, this space, you need to remove yourself. And how does that look? Are we going in a mass? Are we going to use special forces? Are we going to use Rangers, 75th? What is that? What do you think that kind of looks like?
I know for sure. I know Marines are always the first ones in if it's not SF. So that would be in my head, looking at it strategically, I would say SF 100% are the only people qualified to even secure the uranium deposits. We can start there.
Yeah.
One of those,
you're talking Marines land, secure
secure key points. Yeah,
just key foothold in the door, and then basically opening that gate and SF handling business.
I would say SF specifically for uranium, because there's a lot of uranium that are in those mountains that need to be secured, and SF has been on the spear for that since before we even started the attacks. They're the only people, them and those 3-letter agencies that we're not going to talk about, so the screen doesn't go potato, are the only people even capable, in my opinion, of even doing such an operation. But then we have everybody who's in those bases in Kuwait, everybody who's in those bases in Saudi, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They're all getting pushed over there. We don't need you here. We need you over there.
We have Africa. We have units in Italy. You have a whole naval air station in Sigonella. They're not far, right? Like again, the Marine
Corps is a hop and a skip away.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, the Marine Corps is really good about putting. Why am I getting deployed to, or why am I going to get stationed in Italy? Like, you have no idea. But if you look at the bigger picture, any place across the world, we have people at, like, major bases, that we share with NATO, and we have, Marine set, SF guys set. There's a reason why there's FS guy or Special Forces guys that are assigned to certain regions. It's not like, SEAL Team 6 where they can pretty much go anywhere. It's the SEAL Team 1, boom, boom, boom. You are assigned a certain region for a certain point, and you're training for that, whatever the outcome or whatever the conflict will be. But the MEU is it's mass. Like the things that MEU can do in a certain amount of time. I mean, they have Amtraks, they have tanks, they have everything you can possibly need. And on top of that, I was saying earlier, like in Norway, we have all of our resupplies for the MEU in Norway, which is a quick get them loaded up and get them gone, and you can have it within 40 hours.
There, and we're there next day.
Yeah.
What earlier I put up that quote from Trump about what is your take on Israel bombing that part of Iran that wasn't supposed to happen, that Trump said he didn't know about, and then they hit Qatar? What's your spin on all that?
I think Trump is a business guy, right? And I'm 99% sure his whole thought process and all of this, and it's the same thing with Venezuela, is after this, what can I do to say, okay, the U.S. got something out of it that made it worth it? That one thing would be the logical liquid gold, oil. So them bombing their oil just put him in between.
Wait a second.
He's like, whoa, that was ours. So
what do you take? What's your take on, like, Israel? Obviously, we have this, huge, ally, Israel. What is your take on them doing an operation without consulting Trump? I know they don't have to talk about everything, but something as big as that leads to Qatar catching a stray. What is your like? How do you think that with relations, Trump? Like, how does that unfold, or what does that look like?
I think they're so in a corner right now that what's he going to do at this point? Talk bad about Israel and go against them? What do you do? We just signed 40 different laws for anti-Semitism.
Yeah.
What are we going to do? Go against AIPAC? Ask JFK how that went for him.
So he's got to kind of roll with it.
He's rolling with the punches, baby. Israel's going to do what Israel do. God's chosen people and whatnot.
And again, so I'm looking at one of these comments from Brady, and me and Brady talked a little bit, but it says no tanks. USC gave tanks a few years ago and redesigned the force, which is 100% true, right? So the Marine Corps gave up artillery, tanks, and then Scout Sniper program, right? I was an instructor, got to be very fortunate to help out with the Scout Sniper program. Gone. Yeah, it's out, right? So that's why I pretty much ended up getting out of the Marine Corps. So the big thing about it is at Norway have all these different assets of it. Just because we gave up XYZ, the way the MU works, they will send an army or a battalion or a company of Army cats or whoever.
Yeah.
You got on a MU. There's not just Marines. You have Army dudes on there to support the MU. Everything supports the MU. Everything supports the MU. It's not, that's like the sole purpose of pretty much the Marine Corps is the MU. And now the newer thing in the past, 10 years, the special purpose MACTAF. And again, special purpose MACTAF was just a little bit quicker of a response than the MU, because except going on ships, we would do things from Naval Air Station Sigonella, the one I was on, to hit Tripoli and evacuate people, or go to Africa and do whatever it is. And alongside of me, I had guys that I still don't know today what they were. If they were SEALs, Delta guys, they were just dudes in kits with no name tapes, no names,
regular clothes,
MP7, kind of like, hey, cool, and hey, we're gonna go hit this target. This is that. They go in, you hear a couple shots, they come out with a body bag, you don't ask any questions. You don't ask. Nope. All right, get back on the bird. That's it, right? But again, like JTAX, the full 9, like you have all of these assets on this one ship, and it's I'll keep saying it's unbelievable the amount of force you can bring to a country. And I think with that ship being there, even though it's pretty much already there now, it's, we made it publicly known. It's just going to be a show of force of like, hey, we're over here. You want to keep going? Because we're going to keep going. Like, and again, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money to support MU. We're not talking just logistic wise. You're talking just in general, moving that ship to shore, the full 9, what that looks like. And I guarantee you, they already have 7 plans in order. Contingency for full 9. It will fail.
What port are we going to, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera?
It will fail. If we don't have a port, we will make one. If we don't have bridges, we will make one. And again, that's where you bring in Army engineers and all those different things. Everything's going to support the MU. It's going to be a wild one. That's something I would definitely like to see for sure.
Well, we're also, and Ja made a good point of this, we're also, at some point, I'd be shocked if it didn't happen, Karg Island, I definitely see 75th and the 82nd taking that 100%. 100%. So that,
I don't know much about like Army stuff.
So
by any means, I know some of their sniper things, and that's about it.
So I would say the 75th, they're really good taking, like, and Ja, correct me if I'm wrong here, taking those type of landing zones, those type of operations. They're what I would say would be like the all-stars, major leagues of like an infantry unit.
And that's your Rangers, right?
Yeah, the 75th. Yeah. So Ranger Regiment, not the Ranger Tab. That's a whole other discussion.
Yeah.
But Karg Island is pretty much where they're able to push all their oil out. We secure Karg. We control the entire area besides the strait. Yeah, and then there's also, because everybody's talking about the Strait of Hormuz, there's also another strait on the opposite end of all of that where it's called Al Abeb, if I'm not mistaken. And Al Abeb is another place that they haven't closed yet, but that they're threatening to close. And that's over by Iraq. And Iraq controls that entire area, obviously, through their proxies that Iran funds. Iran is giving billions of dollars in funding to all these people every year, keeping them afloat. So Iran is a domino effect. You take out Iran, you cut the money off, and now you don't have all these problems in all these other countries, the Houthis, Al-Shabaab, the list goes on, because they're the ones who are funding between either direct payments, cash, oil, whatever the case may be, and also providing the training and the weapons to all these militias. That's why you have all these people who have all these type of arms instead of their normal, tribal warfare AK-47s and going forward. Because Iran is.
Hold on 1 second. We're getting we're choppy. So let's do the switcheroonie.
Hello.
No, it's not you. It's it's YouTube. Just let me try doing the switcheroonie real quick. It's not potato. It's just they're definitely they're not happy about the topics. And it's not in house. It's only in. All right, Louis, back to that one. All right.
Chat better.
All right.
Hold on 1 second. Let me check. Yeah, we're good. All right. So we got a super chat there telling us the connection's bad, so we made $1.99.
Let's go.
Tell
Do it
everybody
again,
we're gonna
boys.
fix it. I don't know where it went. You might have him pop it up, but Efren sent that. Yep. Connection's back. Should be good. Audio and is the audio back?
Yo.
You said it was my mic.
I think it was everything having a problem, but are we good? Are we good? Okay, we're good. All right. I got something for Ja. Ja, you ready? I want to show him what a uniform should look like. All right. Look at that.
Oh my God.
Look at that. The Tower of Power, baby. Look at that aerosol. Huh? Look at that. If you ain't aerosol, you ain't living. Look at that. Look at that Tower of Power, man. Just for Ja. Just wanted to make sure he understood the seriousness of that badge.
See, like, I don't know, man. I had all the cool badges and everything too, but it was only in certain uniforms.
That was it. That's what we wore every day. That's the
I just had the peach and then
tower, we called it the
Peach.
Tower of
That's
Power. Tower of Power,
That's all I
buddy.
need.
That was that's the most important badge. It's no CIB, man. I missed it. I was, I talk about it. I was post Desert Storm, and I was already a cop when 9/11 happened.
And then you said, "Yeah, I'm not going over there."
No, I asked. I mean, look at this guy, dude. Look at this guy right here. Look at that guy, dude. He's ready for war. Ready for war, man. Look at that.
America,
man. So, anyway, what else you got for us? You always. What's your take on the female cop thing? We never asked you that.
Listen. I know one female cop that's a Marine, and she's the only one that I can co-sign because she's a Marine, and she's also getting deployed right now.
No.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yep. She is on her way to CENTCOM as we speak.
Ooh.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, but I think
I've thought about it honestly. Like, why not? Why
Just
not
do it,
go back to 10 more years? But again, like,
run it.
I don't even know what the Marine Corps looks like nowadays.
Looks like that dude. It looks like that dude we had on earlier.
Yeah, I would hate to go to it and be like, dude, this is bad, right? And I mean, I would still go in the same rank. I talked to a recruiter about like, hey, like, would I go back and I'd still go to staff sergeant, the full 9. I even thought about like other branches and everything too, but I couldn't take in other branches because I'd be coming in. It's like you coming late to the party.
Yeah,
especially at that time, I would be at a
and
higher.
you come
rank.
in as a 7 too, yeah.
Yeah, I come into the 7 and commanding people that have been in the Army or whatever longer than me, and I'm just coming in the door. I just don't think that's fair. I don't think that's right. But I'm every single day, man. I miss the Marine Corps every day, without question. Like, it was the best time I ever had.
I don't get it. Like, I was talking about, I was like, I don't know. Like, somebody asked me about missing the police work, and I enjoyed it.
That's different.
We were coming down. I was going to me and my wife were going to the mall 2 days ago. We're going through down US 1. A pursuit comes by, like legit. Dude's going like 40. He's walking out the window. There's like 30 cops behind him, and it was right near our county line. So, we could, she has an ability to see if it's coming in our county and all that stuff. And she's like, "You're not interested?" I said, "I don't give a fuck what happens to that car. Like, if it makes the news and I can do a show about it." But it's like
I'm there.
I can tell you after, I left September of 24. It's gone, dude. It's gone. I would run for sheriff. I would like to, I would definitely want to be sheriff and try to redo an agency the right way, because most of these guys have politician brains and I have zero politician brains. I have what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong, and everybody goes to jail brain. So I would like that. But as far as going back to do the job, that has sailed. And I feel good about that. Like, that identity was part of me. It was done, but I did it. I did.
You hung up the
20
badge.
years. It's like, that's it. I'm good. So
I think we could win the election for sheriff just off memes. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Just
I'm
off
not
memes.
it's the election's in 2028, so we got 2 years. I don't know.
I'll back
Hopefully
you.
Hopefully they don't mind steroid use. I mean, I mean, the current, I'm not like the current sheriff who was like having.
I mean,
affair
you'd write
in
the
his work
policy.
car, and he was having affairs in his work car and doing all that stuff that men do. That's okay. That's all overlooked. But boost your testosterone a little bit, and it's
Over.
frowned.
It's over.
I got
You're
the
a
COVID
scumbag.
vaccine twice, right? I mean, I had to get the jab, so I did a different jab. I'm vaccinated over and over again, like every month. Made sure I was up to speed.
So the video I just sent you.
Oh, we got another video.
Yeah, this video I just sent you. I did it was like an experimental battalion I was a part of. One of the questions in here said, "Ask how old I'm 35 now." This is my younger.
Hold on.
I think
This is you.
Yeah. So it's going to be.
Hold on. I got to get it up on. I got to figure out how to do this. You threw me a curveball.
Screen recording.
So it was like a experimental battalion. We had these drones, robots, all these different things, and utilizing them into an infantry battalion. Right. So self-sufficient. I got put out in 29 Palms with no water or like our daily supply of water. We had to go out and find it. No battery resupplies, nothing. They see how long we can last. There was like 6 squads that did it. I was the last of, and I'm nobody special. My squad was phenomenal. I didn't have to do anything with these guys. These guys were great. I think we lasted 9 days without any support based off of, solar panels and all these different things that we had. And you'll see in this video, if we're able to pull it up,
We're getting there.
aerosol,
man. Aerosol, man. We're getting there.
But this is what the future was supposed to look like. And it was pretty neat, but I don't know how much it actually integrated into what it is now, but you're looking at
the Bantam Honorary Marine MX.
Yeah, it's going to be the second video. So you scroll past, you'll see.
All right.
Well, I'll tell you this. I mean, if you were doing that in the Marine Corps where you're in, I mean, like it's like everything, right? Everything is slow, at least on the Army side of things.
The helmet with the girl next to you.
Yeah.
All right.
Molly.
And I started right where you start.
Molly.
Yeah.
You mean start right there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or a little bit before.
Molly Percocet. Jason check.
So it was like 110 degrees out. This lady I'm like, look, I'm doing this in one take. Like I'm not doing this 20 times. I have stuff to do. It took her like 9 takes to do this. And I was just, you can see in my face, I was just pissed. Like
I got it, Lewis.
Pissed.
We're getting there, Lewis. Lewis is having a malfunction over there because I'm
malfunction.
I got it, Lewis. I'm trying. Let me drive. All right, we're almost there.
And as we have these technical difficulties.
No technical difficulty. Here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
As the Marine Corps' experimental force.
That's it right there.
29 Palms, Dark Horse is participating in the MAGTF integrated experiment. The Corps Report's very own Lance Corporal Molly Hampton is on the ground with more.
Hey everyone, I'm Lance Corporal Molly Hampton, and I'm here at the Combat Center in 29 Palms for the MAGTF Integrated Experiment. MiG-16 is the Marine Corps Warfighting Lab's experiment that tests 21st century concepts and capabilities in a real-time warfare scenario likely to be seen in the future. Today we have Sergeant Kevin Peach, a squad leader with 3-5, here to tell us why MiG-16 is different than any other training. Take it away, Sergeant.
So the MiG-16 is probably the most realistic thing you're going to get to combat. It's 120 degrees out here. We're sweating our asses off, and we're kicking indoors and doing what grunts do. On top of all that, we're actually getting all the technology, the drones, all the vehicles that shoot robots. It's incredible. Now, giving it a squad leader, you're giving all that stuff and saying, "Here, go to work." So it's a good time.
Thank you for sharing with us, Sergeant. Stand by this week for more coverage on MiG-16.
So all of those things that we had, the robots, everything too, like they spent millions of dollars. I mean, we had the Polaris vehicles, or they mounted Mark 18s on there, 50 cal. So like, all right, like just ride it through the desert, shoot and break everything. And we put it up on 18, they refix it for us.
Mm-hmm.
We did that for 6 months and then it just went away and we never saw
vanished.
it. So like that was supposed to be our integration of like, all right, cool. I can get all this stuff. We proved it worked. They gave us these like light sappy plates that float. Like we were moving. We did at 29 Palms, you do the range 400. It's a company, but size fight. Like you have tanks, you have mortars, everything. There's a full on scale attack. That's a company level. I did it with 2 squads in a quarter of the time and still accomplished the mission. With all of that stuff, right? I would put the robots up on Machine Gun Hill. They would shoot 0 casualties, the full 9. And they're like, no, I don't think we need it. And it's like, what the fuck? What do you mean? We can fight this whole war without even
command staff, baby.
Dude, it was terrible. Staff. And like I'm not kidding. I was sitting in front of gunners, general at the time. I don't
name drop him.
I don't remember who the commandant was at the time, but yeah, like I pretty much put everything out there, and I got a picture with Sergeant Major Castle, and he was out there as well. He's like, dude, this is great. Like I'm gonna push it. Did he give you a coin? I did. I got a coin. Yeah. Nice. Oh yeah. He actually promoted me to sergeant there actually as well.
If I was gonna draw a picture of a Marine, it would be Peach in that video. Like if I was gonna say what is
harder than woodpecker lips.
Harder than woodpecker lips, man. Harder than a motherfucking woodpecker lift, man. That's pretty fucking hard.
No blue pill needed.
Hey, he said that's 120 degrees out here. I haven't changed in 3 months. I fucking walking up.
She's probably all freshly showered.
Yeah.
Dude, she smelled great too, man.
Yeah, I bet she did.
And after a couple months of deployment, anything looks good. You're like, dude, this chick looks good, and she's ugly too. I was like, damn.
I wouldn't know. I can only have eyes for my wife, but I can imagine that some of you nasty men would probably.
Those are those Desert 10s, baby. That's a Desert 10.
Desert
Forget
10.
about it. That's a Desert 10 right
Are
there.
the ones in the turbines Desert 10s too? Did they turn into those?
No, you only see their feet. So.
Oh, you have no idea what they look
You
like.
see like the little slits in their eyes. That's it. I'm like,
I thought they were taking them off now.
Eyes.
Aren't they taking them off now?
If they want to get hung.
Hung.
Sounds very non-freedom.
There's no the only person who thinks there's freedom over there is the commie Marine.
And a bunch of purple hair people in Seattle that throw fucking stuff walking down the street.
Yeah, it's funny because like somebody said in the comments about Sergeant Major Castle, like I was getting an award for something or whatever. We're in the big battalion formation, and I'm sitting there, and I had no idea I was about to get brought up in front of the battalion, and I just feel like this weird presence behind me. And I kind of look, and all I saw was Castle, and I was like,
"That's how I
feel." You're like, "Oh."
My wife comes. I feel like that. My wife comes around.
Oh shit, dude! Like that's crazy. And so he walks up. Shoulders like, you ready for this? And I'm like, what do you mean I'm ready for what? I'm like, dude, like I'm about to get my ass chewed. And he's like, nope. And he was our regimental commander at the time when I was 3.5 or sergeant major. He walked up full 9 and I was like, can I get a picture with you, man? Like, can you sign my book? Like I had my book in the car. I'm like, I read your book all My Men and My Heroes was his book. And he's if anybody doesn't know, he's that for the Wounded Warriors, he's the one that's the statue of him holding the pistol. He's all bloodied up. I think he got shot like 6 or 7 times trying to pull Marines out of that kill house. Just a phenomenal Marine.
A super chat from James De La Cruz. Mike, when you draw Peach, just make sure you use crayons. Absolutely.
Purple is my favorite.
We need a cop. You want a Copville? They want a Copville aerosol shirt.
That's a good idea.
I'm in. I'm down.
That's good. Can't go wrong with
We're
that.
coming to the end of another amazing broad. Cece, you are making the drive after this, correct?
Yes, sir.
CC will be live. Don't forget tonight on Counterculture only.
Counterculture.
YouTube, CC in the house. I believe Gator's coming over again in the house. Peach is making up his mind. He's not sure if he likes to be around small hat, dark people, but he's going to decide that soon.
Damn.
And we
Dark
will
people
have
there, I'm not going.
Show. Any final words, Peach?
Oh, man.
CC, any final words?
No, we're here for the
All right.
updates, boys.
Yep. Well, CC will be live. So don't forget tonight, 8 p.m. Counterculture Inc. Network will be live on the night shift. We appreciate you guys more than you can ever imagine. Don't forget to join the Patreon for the exclusive content. We will see you tomorrow for Casual Friday.
JV team for life.